getting darker even later here, repeatedly. It's kind of crazy. Winter's definitely here. I'm going to wipe you off. You're a little bit foggy there. Is that better? There you go. All right. It is Tuesday night. I'm going to give you guys a few minutes to jump on because I'm not doing pre-scheduled events anymore. I'm finding I'm having more and more issues using the pre-scheduled event route than just going live on Tuesday nights. So we're going to go live. Here we are. Tonight we're going to be making turkey wild rice soup because I don't know about you guys, but we're still eating leftovers and I am running out of ways to use this food. So the first couple days after Thanksgiving, all we did was just eat Thanksgiving things, just the way they were. So turkey and biscuits and all those things we ate just them the way they are. Then we took a break from Thanksgiving food because it was just a lot of rich food. So we took a break over the weekend and now it's Tuesday and I'm like opening the fridge and there's still a lot left. So this is a great recipe for using up turkey as it's going to use up 5 cups. So with the turkey, this turkey is obviously already cooked and it's got all of my seasonings. And I don't know if you guys can see that or not. So the way I roast a turkey, it's inside my cookbook or down below in the description box. There's an instant download to all of my Thanksgiving and Christmas recipes. Just click the link, it'll take you right to it. But this is like a slow roasted turkey. I slow roast them until they like literally collapse. And then I take the bones out and let the meat marinate inside the juices and all the spices and everything. And it is the most moist, flavorful, delicious turkey you've ever had in your life. But it does have a lot of flavor. So I'm just putting out that forewarning. There's already a ton of seasoning in this. So that's what I'm going to be using tonight. I've also pre-soaked my wild rice. This has been soaking for probably 8 hours now. I only had to soak it for 7, but it's not a big deal. So I need to drain this and it'll go right into the pot. So this was just 2 cups of dry rice that I added filtered water to and a splash of apple cider vinegar, and it's been sitting, like I said, for about 8 hours. So other than that, I hope everybody's Thanksgiving was great. Ours was great. The food was great. We were all sick again. So if I clear my throat or there's coughing or you hear a child hacking out their lungs behind me, it's because we're sick again. How many weeks can we be sick for? I'm not really sure. This is going on 3. So different illnesses, but 3 solid weeks. So mommy is tired. We're all sick of being sick. So we're kind of self-isolating a little bit, trying to get a grip on our health from not being sick. So we still hosted Thanksgiving. People still came, but they knew there was a door prize of going home with an illness in about 2 days. So it was still a really, really fun holiday, though. I will say that. Okay, so we are going to use my large stock pot back here. If there's like only 4 people eating this, you might want to reduce all of these amounts down to half at least. This is supposed to serve 16, but I think they're about like a one cup of a serving size. So I'm just going to put some butter into my pan. I've been pre-warming this. It's probably really hot at this point. I wanted my pan to be nice and hot because it took me a little bit of a longer time to get online tonight because my phone wouldn't link up with the Wi-Fi. Ugh. If it's not one thing, it's another. And then I was trying to get everything typed up in the description box, so it's all down below instead of having to wait till after our lives. Okay, so we got butter in there. About 8 tablespoons. I just eyeballed it. I probably should have put a little more. Maybe I'll put a little more, just because butter's so good for you. And I have a happy dishwasher right next to it. Just finished my dishes. I don't like LG appliances for that very reason. Okay, so 8 tablespoons of butter. And then, as I mentioned before, I love this chopper. I bought this off of Amazon. I'm not a huge Amazon person, but I saw this and I just wanted to try it because it has like an increase, on here. It's kind of like a ramp. And let me tell you, it makes a huge difference. It's so much easier to chop. And it comes with the blades that you switch out to different sizes. So this is 1 huge onion. Okay, it's going to go right into the pot. And this is going to cook up rather quickly because it's tiny. It's minced into little tiny pieces. We've used this for celery as well. I bought a huge case of celery last month. We switched out the blades to a different blade and chopped it all up and froze it, which is one of our upcoming ingredients here. The only thing I was a little hesitant with this was chopping like a big chunk of carrot. So I still do those by hand. But this works really well. I could see doing salsa this way, onions, tomato, garlic. You just put it all and their salsa would be in the bottom. Super, super slick. My old one that I endorsed probably 3 years ago, finally, the bottom just cracked and shattered and it was just done. So I had to upgrade. But yeah, this is the name on it just in case you guys want to grab one. It's great. It works good. And it feels more sturdy than the last one, which is always a good sign. Okay, so I'm just going to grab a wood spoon, give this a little bit of a stir, and the onions are just going to saute until they're translucent. And then we can go to the next stage on that. Okay, so the next thing is carrots. I also bought a huge bag of carrots with Azure Standard this last month. Because I wanted to stock up, because it's winter and we're going to be eating lots and lots and lots of soups. So why not? Carrots store really, really well. So these have already all been washed. And oh, see, I have more turkey sitting here. I chopped the turkey up because I have a huge container. Holds about a gallon of meat. I think it's a gallon or 2 gallons. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. It might be a gallon or 2 gallons. Or it might be 2 gallons of meat. But there's bones in there. So I had to go through and sort it all before I came on live. So the next ingredient is 6 carrots. But these are kind of skinnier carrots. So I'm going to do 7.5 and call it good. We got snow. We weren't supposed to get snow. We got snow on Thanksgiving. We got snow after Thanksgiving. It's still on the ground. It's supposed to be like 50 degrees this weekend though, so the snow should be gone. I'm going to give those onions one more stir. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and add in the carrots. Oopsie, they were on the floor. I bet you the dog will come and eat it. He's been kind of naughty lately. At Thanksgiving, he was trying to get on the table and eat everyone's food, so he got kicked out of the dining room. But he's used to being a ranch dog, you know. He's 15 and spent most of his time outside, so manners don't come naturally to him quite yet. And he's inside because I was supposed to shave him this summer because he has a really long coat. He's a Springer Spaniel cross, and they have really long hair, and if you don't brush it all the time, or if you live on a farm and you have weeds like we do, it just gets caught in his hair and causes huge mats that you can't brush out. And I didn't get to shaving him in the spring like I normally do. And so what ended up happening was we went, just went to go, you know, check on him and say, hey, you know, what's going on? I found a whole bunch of mats, of course. And so I knew I had to shave him, and with winter coming, I knew he couldn't stay outside. So he's inside, and you know what? If this may be his last Christmas, he is 15, so I don't mind having him inside. All right. So anyway, he was inside for Thanksgiving. He thought that was pretty cool. He's been enjoying laying on the concrete floor in front of the fireplace. He's just a sweet old dog, but he doesn't have any manners. So this was 6 carrots. You want to kind of aim for large or do a couple extra like I'm doing. All of those are on in there. Okay, so the next ingredient is celery. So like I said, I bought a whole case of celery, which is like 30 bunches of celery from Azure Standard, and I got it down to a really super cheap price. And then we just chopped it all and froze it. So we need about 2 cups of chopped celery. This is probably about 2.5, but I'm going to throw it on in there. And that's why I love dicing. You could do the same thing with carrots. Dice up your carrots, freeze them. Dice up your celery, freeze it. Dice up your onions, freeze it. It's like a dump and go soup. It goes so much quicker. What was you guys' favorite food at Thanksgiving this year? I'm going to have to think. Oh, I know what mine is. I don't even have to think about it. So mine, I had mentioned before, part of that instant download that's down in the description box are this is delicious sugar-free caramel popcorn, and also a sugar-free caramelized cashew. Oh my goodness, so good. And the caramelized cashew recipe is GAPS, which is so cool. Okay, I had to get a drink of water. The throat's still recovering from the cold. It's not very much fun. Okay, so we're gonna give this a stir. I should probably turn this light off because you guys always see better. See, but it's so dark. Just gonna have to leave it on. Yeah, this cold came with a sore throat. Oh, I should show you guys that. This right here. Everybody should get some of this. Can you guys see it? Or is it? Okay. This is amazing. It's a homeopathic remedy. You can, if you type Energenique and this myrrh calm in online, okay? Amazing stuff. Everybody should have this. And if you've got little kids, especially you should have this. This helps with sore throats. This, it's myrrh. Myrrh is so beneficial to the, your mucous membranes everywhere. So the runny noses were less on the people who took this. The sore throat only lasted a few hours for the people who took this. It's just been a lifesaver. So it's got myrrh in it, and it's got mullein, echinacea, golden seal, just a whole bunch of stuff to boost your immune system, but also to help your throat and your nose and your mucous membrane. So I don't get any money by endorsing this, but if you are someone who gets sick, which we all do, you should have some of this in your herbal cabinet, okay? I'm going to be stocking up because we went through about half of a bottle for our large family with his last illness, and I was like, oh, I need to, this stuff works really, really well, and I need to have more of it on hand. Okay, so the next ingredient is broth. We need 8 cups of broth. This is chicken broth, homemade chicken broth. Broth is so easy to make. If you don't know how to make it, I do have a video up here. It's one of my older videos. You're going to have to scroll a while, but it is up here, and you don't have to can it. You could totally freeze it if you're not a canner. So that's 8 cups, which is like 64 ounces of chicken broth. Okay, I'm going to go and rinse, or not rinse, but like, you know, dump this out, strain it, and then bring it back. And then we'll add this to the pot. In more exciting news as well, Naomi took her first steps yesterday. Caught us all by surprise. I just feel like this year has gone by so quickly, and she's not a year yet, but almost. Her birthday is this week, and so it's just crazy how fast time goes, and she's already walking a little bit, and just crazy how fast it goes. So that happened. I'm trying to think of what else has happened since we... the pies were delicious. The crust on the apple pie that we made live ended up being more crumbly than the pecan one. I'm not sure what happened with that, but it was a good thing. It was like a Dutch apple pie where it's like, you know, crumbly. Oh, so good. Still was amazing. Still was amazing. We made homemade whipped topping, which was really, really, really good. So it was a good Thanksgiving. I hope you guys had a good Thanksgiving. Oh, I know what else we made. We made pumpkin cheesecake bars. They were really, really good. My mom was going to make a pumpkin dessert, and then she backed out last second, so I made them anyway. Okay, so the next ingredient that this recipe calls for is thyme. But because my turkey has a ton of seasoning already on it, it's calling for 2 teaspoons of dried thyme, but I'm only going to put 1 because I just don't want this to be too strong, and then when we sit down to eat it, if we want more, we can always add more. So 1 teaspoon of thyme. Got the broth. I got to round up some salt. Who had it last? Let's see. It might have gotten put away. Wouldn't that be that would be a miracle. That's what that would be. Hang on. Let's just see. Nobody panic yet. Let's just see. Oh, where is my salt? Anybody know where the salt went?
No.
No? Okay.
No.
Well, we might have to add our salt whenever we find it. Isn't that funny live? So if I had salt, I would be adding 3 teaspoons of healthy salt, and it would be colored salt. Let me check in here. Did someone sneak in here? Nope.
Did you check the table?
Interesting. I checked my side of the table. Oh, there it is. I found the salt. Hang on. I'll grab it. Nobody get alarmed. The kids are like, did you check the table? No? Okay. So there it is. Healthy salt is colored salt. So we need 3 teaspoons of that. Do I have a teaspoon measurement that's clean? Let's see if the happy dishwasher has one. Yep, it's looking good. All right, 3 teaspoons of healthy salt. There we go. I'm also going to add 1 teaspoon of celery salt. I made this last year. I do have a video up on how to make it. It's super easy if you grow celery from home. Just going to do 1 teaspoon. I find that if I make a soup without using this now, it's like it's lacking a depth of flavor that it has when you put it in there. Okay. Then, it's just going to come to a boil. We can go ahead and add our milk. We need 3 cups of milk. Here comes the dog. Are you coming for the carrot, Riley dog? Okay, go ahead. You're not going to eat the carrot? Is it too healthy? He's out of here. He doesn't want the carrot. That goofy goof. Okay. So we're going to do 2 cups of milk, and then I'm going to show you what we're going to do with the 3rd cup on a different burner here. So 2 cups of milk in. There's that baby. Who's talking? Okay, so in a separate saucepan on the back burner here, we are going to turn our focus to a thickening agent that's not a thickening agent. So we're going to put the last cup of milk in that back pot. If you're on GAPS, you could totally omit the wild rice and use, you know, soaked and fermented navy beans for this. You'd still have all the nice, good flavor. It would just be a different soup, of course. Okay, so we have 1 cup of milk there. Now I'm going to add 8 ounces of cream cheese. This is homemade cream cheese. I finally found a bag that wasn't 1 pound inside our freezer. I think I froze close to 60 or 70 pounds of cream cheese this year because I just didn't have time to make any other cheeses. And we've been eating yogurt and everything else, and that was from just 2 goats, which is just crazy to think about. Okay, so just going to take a fork and break that up. I'm going to turn this over medium heat. We just kind of want it to make the milk nice and thick. Let it sit there for a few minutes. And this is going to come to a boil over here, and we're going to wait for the wild rice to be soft, which takes, this is soaked wild rice, so it takes anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes. It's going to come up to a boil. The back one here, we're going to be adding in just a minute. And then the very, very last step, we'll be adding the already cooked turkey. I've said this before in some of my other lives. Whenever I'm using cooked meat, I wait till the very, very last step after this is already boiled and everything is soft to add my cooked meat. Because if you don't, it's just going to shred into tiny little pieces. And my family at least likes to know there's meat in our soup. And the only way you can do that is if it's not shredded into microscopic bits. So I will add that last after this is boiled for a good 20 to 30 minutes until that wild rice is soft. And soaking things does decrease your cook time, which is great. It also has lots of other health benefits, including unlocking lots of nutrients for your family. And getting rid of things like phytic acid and enzyme inhibitors, which are not beneficial for your family. Okay, so this is pretty much, it's It's going to look a little bit textured because it's goat cream cheese. It's not going to be as smooth as cow cream cheese, but we're going to go ahead and just dump it on in now. It's all one. There we go. Find me a spoon and get the rest of it out here. This year I'm hoping to make a lot more things with our goat milk because we're going to have a lot more milk. I ended up not selling 2 of my goats. They still are for sale, but I ended up not selling them. The market just isn't that great for goats right now. And so I ended up keeping them, and so we're going to have a ton of milk. I'm planning on having my husband build me 2 cheese presses. So that's on the list. His to-do list is getting longer now that he's at home. Anyway, so that adds a nice creaminess. Let me just show you guys. Nice creaminess to the soup there. And so this is going to simmer for 30 minutes or until that rice is soft. And then we'll be adding our turkey meat to the pot. And that's all there is to it. And then that other thing I did say was that the time, I'm only doing 1 teaspoon instead of 2. Like I said, because the meat is so well seasoned. So if you don't have seasoned meat, make sure you use 2 teaspoons at a time. And I'm going to check to make sure it's enough seasoning before I dish it up. I'll scoop a little off and taste it and see where we're at. But that's it for tonight. Does anybody have any questions? Like I said, the instant download is down in the description box down below for all of my holiday meals, including the caramel popcorn that doesn't have any sugar. And I'm trying to think of the cashews, and I have holiday cutout cookies. I'm trying to think what else is in there. All things we eat for the holidays. It was over 23 or 24 recipes are all down in that instant download. So check it out if you haven't. Another thing I made with turkey, this was last night's dinner, was if you look inside my cookbook, which, I just have this bad problem, guys. I love this cookbook so much. And I've been cooking with it for so long that I have like a general idea of where all the recipes are. And so I'm having a really hard time, even though it's like massively falling apart. And I have recipe pages that are stuck together and like ripped some of the lettering off. I'm having a hard time getting rid of it because I know where my recipes are. So anyway, but in here is a recipe for rosemary garlic beans. Really, really good, by the way. And so I made that recipe, added a little bit extra broth, and then added some turkey that was already chopped up. And then, yeah, that was what this was. And it was really, really good. I kind of made it soupy. You guys can see that. And the longer you cook the white beans inside the soup, the thicker and creamier it gets. It's a really, really yummy comfort food. So that was good. Let's see. I had a friend that needed some meals on Sunday, last second, due to something with her health. And so the girls and I spent like 8 hours cooking for this woman so we could bring her all these meals so she wouldn't have to worry about feeding her family. That was a lot of cooking, but it was a lot of fun because we made pizzas and we made grilled burritos, and I made homemade refried beans and homemade Mexican rice, and we did chocolate chip cookies and what was the last thing? Cinnamon rolls. Took cinnamon rolls as well. So it was a full day, but it was a good day, and it was really, really nice to be able to love on somebody with some food because I love to cook, and if I can use that to bless somebody else, that's awesome. So anyway, that's a recap on the week. Other than that, everything's frozen outside, so nothing's really happening out there right now. Yeah, if you ordered a cookbook, they went out yesterday because I had that whole Black Friday sale last week. So anyway, they went out yesterday just because of events with my friend that needed my help, and also just the holiday. Didn't get them out before yesterday, but they are on their way. You should be receiving an email notification soon with a tracking number so you can track it, but they did leave yesterday. Let's see, other than that, I think that's it. So thanks so much for joining me, and yeah, we'll see. I'm not going to do the pre-scheduled events anymore, like I said, because I'm just having too many issues with YouTube. And so I know some of you guys like to click that notify me button, and I understand that, but if I'm having trouble with the videos, then they're not going to be the best quality anyway. And I feel like this way works a lot better. So if you can just set yourself a reminder inside your phone that we do this every Tuesday night at 5:15, I'll be here, and I hope you guys will be there too. And then this way, also everyone gets a notification, not just those who have clicked notify me. So when we did our Thanksgiving Live, we actually had a lot of people on that maybe wouldn't have even stopped to watch, because it comes up in people's feeds as something to watch. So it works out really, really well to get some new people hooked on nutrient-dense foods and being able to have a healthy holiday. So, all right, you guys have a great night, and I'll see you guys next week. Same day, same time, and we'll make something nourishing. You guys have a great night.